How's it going, guys? My name is Franker and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going through the Crypto.com roadmap that they've announced for 2025. This was released a little bit ago. We decided to basically cover this last because obviously most of it is coming throughout 2025, so there's no real time pressure with this one. We just sort of covered some of the other more important things first, but now we're jumping into the roadmap. So if you guys have been keeping up with the channel, you guys might have seen we covered the Rewards Plus changes, the Crypto.com Visa card changes, obviously now the 2025 roadmap, and if anything else does change, if there's anything else I've missed, we'll also be covering that as well. So if you guys, do use Crypto.com, if you're interested in what has basically been announced, because all of these things, the roadmap, the Visa card, the Rewards Plus changes, all these things were all announced at the same time, but we're just covering them one after the other. Just keeping to a nice 1 week upload schedule, essentially, this, as I said, this roadmap, no real time pressure, so we'll release it a little bit later, but hopefully we can get some more information than prior. And if you guys do enjoy this sort of content, we do cover crypto exchanges and all the features that they have on offer. You can see, top 5 exchanges in Australia, Revolut, all these different things that we cover. We do technical analysis once every month. So you can see there's some charts on the screen. We do some technical analysis. We try and get a bit of a variety, a bit of everything. We are pushing for 1,000 subs by the end of the year, so let's push that up. If you do enjoy this content, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. If you have any questions, comment down below. We do also have referrals in the description, and of course terms and conditions apply to those, so please read through them before you do apply. But let's just jump straight into the roadmap. So as discussed, Crypto.com announced this basically on election day, I believe, which was an interesting move, but it worked out really well for them. I guess with the Trump victory, if it was the other way around, it would have been a bit of an interesting situation. But here we are now. It was a really positive thing. They announced their roadmap, all the changes coming to the Visa cards, and basically what their plans are going into 2025. So we'll just sort of roll through this slowly. We'll talk about if they've announced any of these, what this means for Crypto.com, for maybe CRO holders, all those sort of things. We'll just go through this nice and slow. So the first thing, obviously, Q4 2024 is the level up launch. So that is already a thing, right? The Visa cards have changed. We discussed this in this video. Visa card level up changes for 2025. This is already out. As you guys can see, Q4 2024. So if you haven't checked in on your Crypto.com account, do check in, see what's going on. If you're curious to know more about the level up and the Visa cards in particular, go back and watch this video. I just misclicked there. If you are, this is a 20-minute video just on the Visa cards, so go check that out. We'll go through it pretty thoroughly. All right, and the next thing we see is the web app. So that is not just this Crypto.com website that they have. This is actually a website like the exchange that you can go onto to trade crypto, buy crypto, manage your account. Currently that is not available. The only way you can access Crypto.com is through the app, which is a little bit annoying, I guess, if you're one of those people that just don't like using phones. I personally just use my phone for everything, so it doesn't bother me. But the web app is definitely an excellent improvement, and you can see they're already starting to deliver on this. So access to the Crypto.com app on your desktop with Crypto.com web. They have started this, but it is only in the US currently. But as always, they start these things in one country and then they slowly start expanding out into a variety of different countries. And you can sort of see there on that image what it could possibly look like. But it's just, I'm sure it's just going to be like any other exchange that you guys possibly use. It's just going to be on the web, and of course you're still going to have access through your phone, so it's not really going to change. This is only a positive thing, but we're seeing that already rolling out in Q4 like they predicted. Kronos AI dev tools, honestly, who cares about AI? That's what I personally think. And then we go down to that, where they've got these categorized: crypto, stocks, banking, cards. So on the cards, Latin America, Middle East, and Africa debit card expansion. Same thing again, you can see they're already delivering on this. This was only 2 days ago on November 19th. Visa cards are now available in Latin America. So Visa cards are available in, I know, like Australia, Europe, New Zealand, a whole bunch of different countries. But we're seeing them still continue to expand, which is really good. That's a net positive for Crypto.com. It's going to bring in new users. New people are going to be staking in order to get the Visa cards. So definitely a positive thing. And you can see they're already delivering on this. So Latin America, tick, and essentially they're going to start moving on to the Middle East and Africa for their debit card expansion. I think the Middle East will definitely be a big one. There's lots of money, a lot of people there that obviously invest, and all those sort of things. So that'll be a big positive. Okay, the next massive positive in my opinion, we're looking at Q1 2025. Okay, exchange expansion, and you can see the US flag there. So obviously the US is the biggest market in the world, so being able to have the Crypto.com exchange in America, that is where most people, you're going to get your institutions, big business, big money, your smart money, all those sort of people who do large amounts of trading. They're going to want to use exchanges, not just the Crypto.com app, right? So having that in America, which is the biggest country, the biggest economy in the world, that is a huge positive. That's obviously going to drive more people to Crypto.com. It's going to drive more people towards tokens like Kronos, things like that. So it is a massive positive. Once that comes, I know for me personally, I don't believe I can access the exchange in Australia. Not that I've tried very hard, to be honest, but there's a few places in the world where you can't access that, so it makes it a little bit more difficult, but that is perfectly okay. Fiat on and off ramps for a variety of different countries. You can see I think they just put the globe on the end of everyone, just to sort of like that thing, how you put down examples and then you just write etc. When you run out of ideas. That's sort of the idea here. So you can see there's a few different countries that they've got listed. South Korea, I'm not sure what that one is, and I think Hong Kong, if I'm correct. And then of course the globe. So I'm sure there's a few more that they're thinking about, but fiat on and off ramp is super important. It's sort of something I guess you just take for granted. We've got it here in Australia. You just deposit from your bank account, you withdraw straight into your bank account. It's super important for people who are wanting to trade, instead of going through, DeFi and sending crypto through blockchains. It's for the average trader, this is a big positive. Rewards on Bitcoin, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory, right? You're going to be able to possibly lend out your Bitcoin and earn a yield on that. We'll have to see exactly what they're talking about. I'm sure we'll hear more about that. Here's a really big one. Stock and ETF trading. Okay, that is crazy. To put it quite simply, you can see we've got the US flag, Australian flag, Canada, and the European Union, essentially. So it's looking like it's going to be coming to some of the biggest markets in the world straight off the bat. And what we've been seeing Crypto.com doing, they're basically acquiring different companies. So we're excited to announce the acquisition of Charter Prime, a global financial exchange and brokerage service that holds an investment dealer license. That's the important part. Investment dealer license and global business license issued by the Financial Services Commission of Mauritius. I don't know. The acquisition will further enable the expansion of our licensed securities, derivatives, options, and futures offerings, and more. So we've seen a few of these. This isn't the only example, but essentially, they're acquiring all these different companies that have these licenses, so they can begin, essentially, they're looking at this Q1 2025. That is very, very soon, and they're going to offer stock and ETF trading. So that's massive. That's going to bring in a whole influx of new people who, only trade stocks and ETFs, whatever it might be. They're going to possibly be coming to Crypto.com to trade those. They're possibly going to be getting into crypto, all those sort of things. So this is going to bring in a whole bunch of new users. And the big thing is, it's in a lot of big countries. This isn't just, they're not starting this one slow. They're really just ripping the band-aid off. And it looks like it's going to be, pretty massive. The other thing, the big new one, or the big new two things, is banking. Stocks, obviously these aren't available at the moment, but now personalized multi-currency accounts. That'll be interesting to see how that works. But they're bringing in some sort of banking system. How that works, we really don't know. We haven't seen a lot of it, but we're going to start to see this rolled out early next year. And you can see, yield on cash. We'll get to that shortly, but they're talking about a really, quite an interesting sort of banking system that they're going to have on offer. Okay, moving on to Q2 now. Crypto.com, or Crypto Rewards Maximizer. Who really knows what that is? We'll see once it rolls out. Institutional custody, that is massive. When we were talking about, basically getting in the big dogs, the institutions, the businesses, the smart money, that is really what we want. America, Canada, Singapore, that is where a large amount of your institutional funds are going to be coming from. The idea would be pretty well if we can get, if you get those people starting to use Crypto.com, those people starting to buy Bitcoin, buy CRO, whatever it might be, that is going to be a huge boost, to crypto and to Crypto.com as a whole. Stock options possibly coming Q2, along with the stock and ETF trading. So after the stock and ETF trading come out, they're going to bring out options in the United States. That's pretty good. as we just discussed, yield on cash. So a part of their banking is probably just going to be, you know, some sort of interest rate, essentially, that they're going to offer. We'll have to see how good that is. You know, we do, if we go across to here and we go down and we find what we're looking for. Okay, so I just went to the level up section just so we could find this. But you can see, you know, when it comes to banking, rewards on cash, you know, first 3 months is going to be possibly dependent on your Visa card level, but you know, you can see that they do offer, you know, I mean, pretty low interest rates, but also pretty competitive interest rates if this is what they're going to stick to. Obviously, this is a long time away. We're talking, you know, 6 months plus until we see this, possibly 9 months until we see this. But at this point in time, they're sort of talking, you know, what I would consider quite competitive interest rates. I mean, like, I know personally, in Australia, I'm yielding 4.9%. In my bank account at the moment, which is pretty good. You're probably yielding all different, you know, amounts depending on where you are and what your cash rate is set to in your country. If you're in a country that has really low interest rates and you can, you know, go to crypto.com and access a better rate, you know, that's a really good thing, right? And then if we scroll down a little bit further, credit cards, that'll be quite interesting. Looks like they've just got the US and South Korea at the moment for those, but obviously, I mean, it depends what country you're in, whether you're, you know, I guess it's a bit of a culture thing, right? Whether you mostly use credit cards or debit cards. America is a massive credit card country, so that would be, you know, we'll have to see what they're sort of talking about with that, whether there's, you know, similar rewards to the Visa card, whether it's going to be sort of like this, where you can get cash back and things like that. I'd assume so, but, you know, we'll just have to wait and see what exactly they announced. But that is a Q2 next year. Now going on to Q3, Cortex AI. Same thing again, right? AI, yada yada. I don't really care. We'll have to see exactly what that is. Crypto.com stablecoin. That'll be quite interesting. You know, it's just a stablecoin. I'm assuming it's going to be on the Kronos blockchain. Let's see how that goes, right? AI powered trading tool. Same thing. AI trading tool, whatever, right? If you want to use that sort of thing, go ahead. I don't think that's very revolutionary. Kronos 1, I don't know what that is. Something to do with CRO, I assume. We'll have to find out. Another interesting one when it comes to stocks, commodities, index, derivatives, FX, in Australia, European Union, and why am I doing this all over the shop? Australia, European Union, and the US. So that is obviously same thing again. Quite a positive if you're someone that trades commodities, you know, and you live in the US, you can now come to crypto.com. This is going to bring in new users. This is likely going to, you know, people that are interested in using crypto.com to trade these things might be interested in buying some CRO. We'll have to see exactly how this plays out. This is Q3 next year. 1 second, 1 cent global transfers. That is quite ambitious. We'll have to see how that works, but that's a part of the banking. So I think they're really looking at this being sort of a global banking system. You know, and obviously, you know, cheap transfer. They're talking about having cheap transfers, very fast. I will see exactly how they work that out, but that would be a huge positive. You know, being able to have multiple currencies, to be able to yield on it, to be able to transfer it wherever you want, whenever you want, really fast. Does sound like a lot of positives. We'll have to see how that plays out. Next one is the Prime card. So this obviously isn't available yet, but they have advertised it. So this is really just a higher tier of the Visa card program. You know, you can see it's $1 million US you have to stake in CRO. You do get some really good rewards, 10% yield, 8% cash back, you know, a whole bunch of different things. You know, and you're going to be getting, you know, a lot of perks with that, like lowest fees, high referral bonuses, deposit bonuses, you know, bonus on stock transfers. You know, you're going to be getting all the highest returns, you know, highest yields on cash, all those sort of things. So we'll see how that works exactly. But, you know, that's, you know, not for me. I'm not going to be putting $1 million in CRO, believe it or not, in order to access the Prime card. But, you know, I'm sure there'll be a few people that do look to get that, you know, as the rewards are really good. And then we'll just wrap things up with Q4 2025. This is a long way away, so we'll have to see. You know, these are the things that I think are, you know, the further out we get, the more likely these things are to be cancelled or pushed back or changed quite significantly. Obviously, you know, these things are already being released. These things are, you know, in the works, and as you get further and further back, right, they get more and more up in the air, obviously, to meet the deadlines and everything like that. Margin derivatives for the US and Europe, Kronos ETF submission. Sure, we'll see how that works, right? You know, obviously that would be a huge boost if it got accepted, but that's a long way away. And, you know, even even an ETF submission, that's, quite a bland, up in the air sort of statement. Singularity API, international bank accounts, business accounts, that's a good one. Business banking accounts through Crypto.com. As we said, it's essentially the same as what we're talking about, like having like an exchange where you're going to be getting institutions, business, essentially the smart money coming into Crypto.com. This is largely the same, being able to have business accounts and the 10% travel rebate, right? I assume, I'm not sure why that has to be released in Q4. I'm not sure what they're waiting for. But you do see this advertised CRO rewards on Crypto.com travel, whatever travel is. I assume it's just going to be like Airbnb or Expedia or something like that. So these are all positive things for Crypto.com. This is the first time they've actually released like a roadmap. If you've been paying attention to Crypto.com during the bear market, you guys would have been seeing they've been building this whole bear market. Things like the card expansion, that's happening all the time. They're always doing these sort of things. The big ones really are the stocks and the banking that they've announced. We'll have to see how that plays out exactly. But, having a roadmap obviously does, I think it provides a bit of clarity to investors. It's a bit reassuring, provides confidence. So we'll see how this plays out exactly. We'll have to have a look back at this at the end of 2025, see essentially if they've hit all of these. So far so good with the web app, and like the Visa cards. That's obviously all well and good, but we'll see how this works. As we said, the things that are further out along the line, they're the ones that if things we're going to start to get pushed back or adjusted, it'll probably be the things later in the year, but we'll see how that plays out. If you guys did enjoy, remember to hit that subscribe button. We are at 784 subscribers. We're pushing for 1,000 by the end of the year, so let's see if we can hit that. It's quite an optimistic goal at this point in time, but with the bull market coming back, I think it's a possibility. Hit that like button. Any comments, any questions, feel free to comment down below. And if you do want to sign up to Crypto.com or some of the exchanges, feel free to use the referral codes. And of course, terms and conditions apply. Thank you all. I'll see you in the next one.